For years as a boy, you had to ask for permission from your parents or your teachers whether or not you could do something. But now you're a man. Now you've been dumped into this big, cold world and life is just overwhelming. It's a little bit much. You've got all these responsibilities, a full-time job, and it's all just a bit too much. Everything has taken over and it's got in the way of your life. If you're watching this video, you're here for a reason. You are in the exact same place as I was literally just 18 months ago. I had that inner bitch inside of my head and I had to make a change. Buckle up, grab your popcorn. This presentation might just change your life. I'm going to be running you through the exact process that allowed me to conquer my inner bitch and become the man. I'm going to help you level up mentally, physically, and spiritually and regain your self-identity. So let's get started. I was the guy who could not stick to anything at all. I used to fall off track every other week with no structure, no routine. I'd start something brand new, get that shiny object syndrome, something that you'd see online and go, oh, this will work for me. And then just a couple of weeks later, I would fall off when life got in the way. Because life can be very overwhelming at times. Very overwhelming. And the truth is, I wasn't lazy. I was just lost. I didn't have a system. I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have anyone who was able to hold me accountable. And most importantly, I had no why. I was just drifting, going through all sorts of phases in my life, growing up as a kid, confused, didn't know what I was going to do. And it was just too much. It got too overwhelming. Something had to change. Something had to change. I left school and I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life. I know the exact feeling when you don't know the path that you're going down, trying to balance work, relationships, and social life, all whilst trying to fit into this society that we have today. This judgmental world. And the hardest part was I was just so harsh on myself. The self-image that I had in my own head, I used to criticize myself to the extreme. I could not stand what I saw of myself in the mirror when I woke up every single morning. But fast forward to now, I've built a lifestyle that I love, a physique that I'm proud of, and I love who I'm becoming. Now guys, in case you didn't know me, this is something that I haven't opened up to much in the past. Growing up as a kid, age 13, I was diagnosed with ADHD, age 13. When I started secondary school, I struggled. I didn't apply myself. I got distracted easily. I was the class clown, absolute class clown. And I always felt different and I never fitted in. School didn't make sense to me. I just wasn't ready for it. I was bored, restless, and always told by my teachers that I would never live up to my potential. And I had a bunch of insecurities for a number of years. So after I left school, I went to study sports science. I did my personal training course, but something just wasn't right. I still felt empty and I was escaping far more frequently than I should have been. And I'm talking getting drunk regularly, weekends, drugs, smoking weed throughout the week, in the evenings. I'm talking, it got to a point when it was nearly every day. I was smoking nearly every single day. And that was for a good couple of years. And this was my form of distraction, but I was too stubborn to make the change. I didn't like where my life was, and I just wasn't happy with the person I was. I felt lost. I lost my identity. So here you have pictures of me, age 13, growing up as a kid, right? You got the Justin Bieber haircut, the Samsung or the BlackBerry, right? In your parents' bedroom as a kid. And then you've got me here, 18, 19 years old, smoking weed, overweight, eating all sorts of awful food, munchies, drinking on weekends. And then you have a photo of me here, aged 19. And this was me when I just wasn't someone that I wanted to be. Wearing clothes that weren't me, chains, drugs, chasing women. And this was a smokescreen, a pure smokescreen. And then I believe this was me aged 20 on New Year's Eve. And you can see here, I am lost in this photo. Little smile in the camera for the photo, but there is nothing behind that face. Nothing behind that face. Funnily enough, I actually became a full-time fitness instructor and personal trainer at just age 20. When I qualified at, I believe, 19, I worked at my first gym for just over 3 years, but I still felt stuck. I worked 8 to 12-hour days within my first job as a PT, but I felt incredibly burnt out. All my friends were working 9 to 5s, and back then I thought that was it. They were in trades, office jobs, and they had weekends off. But me, I had to work weekends. I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning, sometimes finishing at 10, 11 o'clock at night, working 8 to 12-hour days. And I was never actually really able to focus on the thing that I preached the most, which was my own health and fitness. And I would still go out when I could find an opportunity to go out on the weekends and escape. If you've been through this and you're going through this right now, you know how horrible it feels. But you try and ignore it because you've almost accepted that this is it. So after a couple of years of working my first full-time job, 3 years later, I packed it all in. In summer of 2023, I went solo traveling around Southeast Asia for the very first time. And that is when I found my personal passion and my love for self-development. I booked a one-way ticket to Thailand, Bangkok, 12.5-hour flight, and I landed there. And it was just a breath of fresh air. And those 3.5 months were a big, big eye-opener for me. I had the best time, but the issue is I had to come to an end because I packed in my full-time job, so I was relying on just my savings. I was seeing the money coming down. And don't get me wrong, they're 3.5 months that I will never forget. Some of the best months I've ever had. But I had to come home. And guess what? 2 days later, I fell back into old ways. 2 days. I remember coming back on the Thursday, and on the Saturday, I was out again and falling back into the same old bad habits. When you're in your same environment, guys, and you're hanging around with the same people that you know you shouldn't be hanging around with, it's so easy to be sucked into it and consumed with it. It's so easy. Environment is everything. Those 3.5 months were so good that I've come from such a high to such a low, and I had to make a choice. It was either change or stay stuck, or be the same old version that I was before and not happy with anything within my life. And I had this moment. It was this fuck this moment. I either change and become someone that I've always wanted to be, or I stay stuck and be the exact same person that I was before I went traveling and had nothing going for me. I've had such a good time over these last few months that I can't go back to my old life. And that is when everything changed for me. Now, fast forward just a few months later, I was offered a role as a personal trainer again in a smaller private gym. And after just a few weeks of being there, I decided I wanted to go all in on taking my business online, as I wanted to help as many people globally as possible. After the experiences that I'd had in 2023 and meeting new people in different cultures, I wanted to explore more. So after just a couple of months of starting up my business and working in the new gym, I decided to do my first ever photo shoot and take my self-discipline to a whole new level. I did an 8-week prep, and within this 8 weeks, I unlocked a whole new level of self-confidence, and that is when it all changed. These 8 weeks were 8 weeks that I've never, ever, ever experienced before. Because when I tried to get in shape previously, I'd be going through dirty bulks, these stupid cuts that I could never stick to. And with the pain that I've been feeling in the past, I wanted to do something for me. I wanted to change. I wanted to show myself who I can actually become and actually gain some self-respect. Finally, some goddamn self-respect. I had none of it before. None of it. So after this photo shoot, you can see here, these are the photos. This is one of the photos that I gained from the photo shoot. I drove all the way up to Manchester for this shoot. 4 hours. But boy, was it worth it. Boy, was it worth it. Then after months and months of self-development and growing my business and improving my discipline even more, I saw a huge shift in my self-identity. Just a couple of months later, after my first ever photo shoot, after building up enough discipline, enough confidence, and enough courage, I decided to pack in personal training after nearly 5 years. And I moved to Bali and ran my business abroad for 7 months. So within these 7 months, I met some incredible people, conversations that I've never had before. And it was amazing. I also lived in Australia, Singapore, and Dubai. And this is all because of the development phase that I've been through. The discipline, the hard work, the grind. Now, fast forward today, I help my clients globally. I help them find their purpose, get into elite shape, regain their self-identity, and achieve their prime. Now, who is this program for? If you feel stuck in life, like you're just going through the motions, exactly what I was going through, then this is for you. If you know deep down that you're meant for more, but you don't know how to unlock it, this is for you. If your routine is chaotic, your energy is drained, your confidence has taken a hit, this is definitely for you. If you're ready to stop wasting time and finally build the body, the discipline, and the lifestyle that you know you're capable of and you deserve, this is 100% for you. Who this is not for. If you'd rather stay stuck and stay comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, rather than changing your standards and your toleration levels, then this is not for you. If you're not ready to start talking to yourself differently and finally conquer that little inner bitch that is inside of your own head and that you keep feeding, this is not for you. And finally, if you're more committed to excuses than actual progress, this isn't for you. I'm sorry. Now, here's the truth. You don't need to track every gram and train 6 days a week or even cut out your social life to conquer your inner bitch. And you've probably told yourself by now that you just need to get back on plan, or even I just need to lock in. But if we're going to be honest, guys, how many times has that worked? How many times have you actually told yourself that? Because I can remember, I can't even count how many times I told myself that. For a good number of years, that was just the cycle that I was in. I'll start again Monday. I just need to get back on it. I need to lock in. And you are honestly setting yourself up for self-destruction. Setting yourself up for pure self-destruction. It's not because you're lazy or you're incapable of actually making massive change. It's because, you've probably heard this quote before, a man cannot rise above what he does not see in himself. And that is what most guys fail to realize. It is not because you're lazy, incapable, or incompetent. You're literally just stuck because you keep feeding that inner bitch inside of your own head every single day. Negative energy is wasted energy. But don't worry, we're going to conquer your inner bitch starting today, right now. Okay? You don't need motivation. You need a system that is going to shift your self-identity on a daily basis. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. And if you want that person to be you, I'm going to show you exactly how to conquer that inner bitch inside of your own head. I'm also going to show you how to develop the mindset of the man. Mindset is not something that you can change overnight. It's a work in progress. It is a work in progress. I'm also going to show you exactly how to change your life and the lifestyle of the man that you need to become the best version of yourself. Morning to night. You can't just have a good day. You need to be planning everything out and having an exact routine that you can get to and actually makes you feel good about yourself. The fourth one is you're going to be training and eating to look like the man. You want to be respected more? As a man, right? Think about reproduction. We want to be as fuckable as possible. As fuckable as possible. And it's the truth. Everything that you do in life is to become more fuckable. If you think about it. So we're going to be going through exactly how to train and to eat to look like the man, and the man that you actually look back at yourself in the mirror and respect. That's the most important thing. Don't worry about other people. Obviously that comes as a byproduct. The most important thing is the way you see yourself and how you respect yourself in the mirror. The man that you see in the mirror. Now let's move on to the system. So my prime method is my system that I built through my own trial and error by falling off track, getting stuck in a body I hated, and having to rebuild my habits, my discipline, and my routine from the ground up. Now, I've decided to break this all down for you exactly in this video so you too can conquer that inner bitch and finally achieve your prime both physically and mentally. Process overview, my prime method. Guys, I'm being serious. This is the last coaching program that you will ever have to have. Not only am I going to help you get into good shape, regain your identity, and build this whole new level of discipline and be happy with the man that you are, but I want to make this the last coaching program that you ever have to have. Because the ultimate goal here is I'm going to teach you how to do this for life. It's all well and good getting into good shape, right, with a coach, with a training plan and a meal plan. But so many people bounce back afterwards because they have no real system and have no knowledge of how to work this. Your brain, the computer, the most important thing that you have in your... It's the most important thing we have, right? Take care of it. Train it. We want to be able to control this for life so we're never out of shape again. And we know the direction that we're going in. You need to find your why, master your self-discipline so that you can be as fuckable as you want for the rest of your life. Okay, so the first phase is understanding yourself, right? So we'll be rebuilding your day-to-day structure with a plan that is designed to fit your lifestyle and not ruin it. We're going to ditch the all or nothing mindset and install daily non-negotiables. Non-negotiables. You need habits if you want to become the man that you want to be. And healthy habits, of course. Phase 2, takeoff. We're going to learn how to eat in a way that burns fat without cutting out your entire life, your social life, your relationships. And most importantly, you can still go out for meals. You can still have these drinks and enjoy your life, right? We're going to be focusing on high protein, flexible meals. No boring meal plans, no macro obsessions, right? You're not going to have to track everything to the gram to get in good shape because quite frankly, that's depressing. I've been through it myself enough times. Been through it enough. Phase 3 is the body rebuild protocol. We're going to be focusing on building lean muscle, increasing your strength, and actually developing a body that you look in the mirror in the morning and go, fuck yeah, right? Who doesn't want that? Wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the mirror, and have some respect. We're going to be focusing on minimum time, maximum output, with workouts that actually just fit into your work schedule. Quite frankly, I've been there as well. 60-70% of guys, they'll go and spend 2 to 3 hours in the gym and waste their time because their sessions aren't intense enough. They have no structure. And with a busy life like yours, you're short on time, you're time constrained. We need a system that works with minimal hours, okay? The fourth and final phase is going to be the lock-in phase. And within this phase, we're going to hardwire the new habits that you've developed, your new identity, and the mindset that you have now developed so that you never fall off again. Never, okay? This is going to be the last coaching program that you ever need. And within this final phase, it's going to be nothing but structure, ruthless accountability, and the strategy and education to make this your new normal and know exactly what to do from A to Z. So when coming on board, the first phase is understanding yourself. And quite frankly, if your routine doesn't support your goals, you'll never be able to stay consistent. So we need to look at what you're doing right now, break it down to a T, and start from the basics up and accelerate from there. Okay? We'll be setting 3 non-negotiables every single day, and they're to do with your movement, your meals, and your mindset. And this is going to give you that clarity and enable you to actually move forwards. And we're going to stop trying to do everything perfect for 1 week, then crashing. We're going to focus on the essentials and what you actually need instead of all the bullshit and too much information and going all out from day one. And we're going to rebuild your routine so even on your worst days, you can still move forward. Okay, this is where momentum starts and you finally stop falling off. Phase 2 is takeoff. You probably know this already, but a lean muscular physique starts in the kitchen. And the last thing you want is a boring meal plan. All right, you need to be eating the foods that you enjoy, or quite frankly, you just won't stick to the plan. So we're going to be using simple meals that you can actually look forward to eating. They're going to make a big change in your body composition within the first couple of weeks. We need to get this image out of your head that clean eating means bland food and no flexibility. Quite frankly, it doesn't. It's the complete opposite. Because when your food supports your energy, your training, and your lifestyle, you are going to win. You're going to win. All right? And this is the phase where most men break the all or nothing mindset around food. Yes, you can be clean, for a couple of weeks. You may stay on track and eat like a flipping superhero. All right? You might eat like Superman. But the thing is, if you don't include any of your cravings or the foods that you've been used to in the past, it's all going to crumble. All going to crumble. Our body has needs. We have these cravings. And we need to be including them in your diet if it's something that you want to be able to sustain long term. There's no best set meal plan out there. The best meal plan is the one that you can stick to. The third phase is the becoming phase. This is the phase where it's not just about getting in shape. This is about becoming the man who's never going to let it slip again. This is the point when you're in shape, you're super confident, you're happy with who you're becoming, right? And you can see the change in yourself. You're getting compliments left, right, center from your family, your friends, your colleagues. But how am I going to be able to maintain this long term? So within this phase here, we're going to be focusing on prioritizing strength and muscle over scale weight. You're going to shift from being a consumer of motivation to a producer of momentum. This is a phase where not only are you going to look better, feel confident, but you're going to feel powerful. The phase that you're in right now, there's none of that. You're a little bit shy and you step into the room and there's no presence. There's no presence. Within this phase, that is going to completely change. And the fourth and final phase is the lock-in phase. This is the part where the habits, the mindset, and the new identity that you have claimed never falls off again. This is when we lock it in. This is the part when you understand and you know exactly what you need to do to maintain the mindset and the identity that you have now and move forwards in your life. Follow your dreams. This is the part when you go after it. Look at me here. This is me in Dubai. This is me in Australia. And just over a year ago, I was stuck. And now the identity that I have, the confidence that I have, I travel the world and I own it. I own it. I love it. I want to help you become this. Travel the world, meet new people, take risks, start that business. And that is going to come from an improvement in your confidence and regaining that identity. So within this phase as well, this is when we're going to be owning your schedule instead of reacting to it. The non-negotiables that you have collected over the last couple of months, the routine, the training, the mindset that you have acquired that is now in your head, that inner bitch that has gone. Right, that's gone forever. This is the part now when we hold on to it and we lock it in and we move forward, we follow your dreams. This is the part. You won't be maintaining your results, you'll be mastering them. Training, nutrition, you know exactly what to do so you're never out of shape again. And that confidence, that self-respect that you have in the mirror, that's there for life. And you're going to become the man who lives it, not just visits it. The sky's the limit, guys. If you can master your self-discipline and your mindset, you truly don't know what you're capable of. So guys, now that you've seen how my Prime method works, from building the routine, fueling your performance, transforming your mind, your identity, your body, locking it all in. I'm going to show you that this isn't just words. This isn't me just talking it, okay? This is what happens when you stop winging it and you actually follow a process that is designed to work for you, even on your worst day. Look at me here, by the way. Max was already active, but when he reached out to me, he was lost, okay? Influencer, lives in Dubai, just started up a clothing brand, but he'd lost direction, okay? He wasn't sure of where he was going. He was overwhelmed with his life and he was going out drinking and overindulging in junk foods on the weekend, and he felt lost. And ultimately, he felt soft, okay? His physique, he just wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with a man that he saw when he looked back in the mirror. So we went back to basics and we put a plan in place so he knew exactly where he was going, and we decided to lock in a photo shoot. So we tightened up, added lean mass, and carved out a physique that turned heads 10 weeks later at our photo shoot in Dubai. By this point, as you can see in the photo shoot, Max used to send me photos in the morning of his physique, and he just could not believe the man that he was seeing in the mirror. And the craziest part is he's done this all whilst building his clothing brand on the side and living life on his terms. A couple of weeks before we did the shoot, he was still drinking on the weekends and he still came out that condition. And the reason why it worked is because he had the system and structure in place, so he was never overwhelmed and he didn't go off track. My client Adam, when he reached out to me, zero structure, zero momentum. And I just remember when we had our conversation, he wanted to start up his business. He was just doing a startup, but he felt lost and he was overwhelmed and he just lost full control. So we dialed in his training, his mindset and his nutrition, and now he's in the best shape of his life. And not only that, his business has also scaled and he's working from anywhere in the world. He's currently in Dubai riding jet skis and he has taken full control of his life. Absolutely crushed it. Then you have my client Callum here, busy tree surgeon, confidence was low, energy was even worse, all right? When he reached out to me in a relationship, a happy relationship, a healthy relationship, but he just wasn't happy with the man he used to see in the mirror every single morning when he waked up. He'd finished work after being on his feet all day, and he had no real energy and time to prioritize himself. Like, he'd get home and he'd just feel absolutely drained. So we started working together. We killed that inner bitch inside of his head so he didn't get home from work and think, I can't bother to go to the gym. We fueled his body correctly. We had a plan in place that actually gave him more energy instead of draining him. And then fast forward to later, he's now dropped 15 pounds of body fat, built some lean muscles, six-pack abs, and finally has the control in his life that he's always been after. And then last but not least, my client Connor. Okay, desk job, soft belly, no spark. When he reached out to me, he had zero drive, no purpose, and just felt completely lost. I remember our first ever discovery call, and he was not happy with the position he was in. Not happy with the position. I could just feel it on the call. So first of all, we killed that inner bitch inside of his head, okay, and we reprogrammed his mind in a way, and we set a plan up, and we visualized who he could actually become in a couple of months' time, a few months' time, if he actually stopped listening to all that self-negative talk in his own head and set out a plan in place that made him feel good, increased his positive vibration, and actually wanted to attack the day. Okay, fast forward a few months later, he's now lost over 25 kilos. That's nearly 60 pounds, guys. 60 pounds. And he's transformed his body and his routine without giving up the weekends or his lifestyle. Okay, he's leaned out, he's built discipline, and he actually enjoys his training again, loving his life, and now he's in a happy relationship. What a man. So now that you understand exactly how this process works, we have two options, okay? Option one is that you can take what you've learned in this video and try it out on your own, okay? However, what might happen is that you might fall off track after a couple of weeks. And the reason for that is that you haven't mastered that inner bitch inside of your head. You haven't killed that inner bitch. You haven't got the routine, the discipline, and the accountability that is going to allow you to move forwards, move the needle forwards, and actually have a game plan for the foreseeable future. Or we have option two, where you can guarantee your results using my prime method, and I'm going to show you exactly how we can do that. You've made it to the end of this video, which is a very, very clear indication that you do want to level up and you actually want to improve your life and become the man that you're meant to be. If you feel that that inner bitch has been holding you back for so long now, you feel soft both physically and mentally, but you know that there is a badass hiding inside of you, and you feel like when you look in the mirror, you don't admire the man staring back, but you want to look like the man, and not just for a moment in time, I'm talking forever, years to come, okay? In your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever age you are, for years to come. And you want to prime both your physique and mindset to conquer each and every single day, because you don't know when it's going to be your last. None of us do, right? We could drop tomorrow, is the truth. We don't know. So why not give each and every single day your all and become the best version of yourself? And you want to finally become the man worthy of respect from not just others. I'm not just talking women, friends, family, colleagues, but also the man you see in the mirror. The man when you wake up in the morning, you look at yourself currently and you're not happy with. If you actually want to wake up in the morning and respect the man that you see when you look back in the mirror, then you too can conquer your inner bitch and achieve your prime in just 120 days. If I did, then so can you. Difference is I went through lots of trial and error to come up with this system, and now my biggest mission is to help you. So if you're serious about this and you actually want to level up, then I'm going to leave my calendar link below. Book in a one-to-one call with myself. We'll jump on a call, see if you'd be a good fit. We'll map out a plan for you for the coming months so we can help you achieve your prime in just 120 days. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.